أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم وفقنا وسائر المشتغلين للعلم والعمل الصالح بحق محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم والعن عدوهم. Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam said, "He from whom Allah accepts a single prayer, He will not punish, nor he from whom He accepts a single good deed." قال الإمام الصادق عليه السلام: "من قبل الله منه صلاة واحدة لم يعذبه." من قبل الله منه صلاة واحدة لم يعذبه، ومن قبل منه حسنة لم يعذبه، ومن قبل منه حسنة لم يعذبه. Yes, with Islamic laws we reach to the sun. We still with the mutahhirat, the ways or the things which make a mutanajjis thing purify. The sun. Number 3, the sun. Issue number 192. The sun makes the earth, building and the walls tahir. So here the sun only makes the earth, the walls and the building tahir. Okay, for example, how about car? How about a person? No. Only earth, building and walls. Put this in your mind. Provided that the following 5 conditions are fulfilled. Definitely there are some conditions. 5 conditions should be fulfilled in order to make this mutanajjis thing tahir. Number 1, the mutanajjis thing should be sufficiently wet. The mutanajjis thing should be what? Should be sufficiently wet. That means if the mutanajjis thing is not tahir, is dry, will not become tahir by sun. If the mutanajjis thing is dry, it is not become tahir by the sun. What we need it, the mutanajjis thing, the earth, the walls, the building, wet, and it become dries by what? By the sun. By the sun, not by the earth, by the sun. The sun makes the earth, building and the walls tahir, provided that the following 5 conditions are fulfilled. Number 1, the mutanajjis thing should be sufficiently wet, and if it is dry, it should be made wet. That means we have to pour some water on it so that the sun dries it up. If the earth mutanajjis and it is dry and I want to make it tahir by what? By the sun. What should I do? I should pour some water on it in order to make it wet, and let the sun make it dries. All right? Put in your mind, we have to remove the essential najasa first, not with essential najasa. Number 2, if the mutanajjis al-ayn is present on that thing, if the mutanajjis al-ayn, if the essential najasa like blood, like urine, like semen, okay, feces, is present on that thing, it should be removed from it. It should be removed from it. It is before it is dried by the sun. So we have to do what? We have to remove the essential najasa. Now, here, if the mutanajjis al-ayn, it means the essential najasa is present on that thing which is become what? Which is mutanajjis. That thing which is mutanajjis. And the mutanajjis al-ayn, as I told you, the essential najasa itself, the blood, semen, feces, whatever is essential, should be what? Should be removed first. If the mutanajjis al-ayn is present on that building, it should be removed from it before it is dried by the sun. And point number three, nothing, or condition number three, nothing should intervene between the mutanajjis thing and the sun. What does that mean? That means this earth, this window, this wall, it should be dried by what? By the sun only. By the sun only. There shouldn't be what? Something intervene it between. Just like what? Just like the curtain. Just like the clouds. Okay? Or, yeah. It should be nothing in between them. Sometimes there are some slight curtains, just like those white ones, which that the sunrise can, or the sun goes through. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But if there is something in between, intervening between the mutanajjis thing and the sun, no, we have to remove this intervene thing. Is this understood, inshallah?
You mean not anything that prevents
the sunshine
to fall on the
It shouldn't be there. It shouldn't be there. And therefore, if the rays fall on the mutanajjis thing here, either the earth, the wall, and the earth wall on what? Buildings. If the rays fall, I need these terms. When I ask you to explain this issue, you have to mention the mutanajjis thing means earth, walls, or buildings, because we have to talk about something specific. If the rays fall on the mutanajjis thing from behind a curtain, etc., or a cloud, and make it dry, the thing will not become tahir. The thing will not become tahir. Why? Because we need the rays of the sun comes directly to what? To the mutanajjis thing. But there is no harm if the cloud is so thin. You remember my example when I told you the slight curtains, so thin that it does not serve as an impediment, بأنه هذه ما راح تكون مانع obstruct. Yes, between the mutanajjis thing and the sun, doesn't matter. And condition number 4, only the sun should make the mutanajjis thing dry. Only the sun. If the mutanajjis thing becomes dry by the wind, no, it's still mutanajjis. It is still mutanajjis. If it is mixed between the sun and the wind, if the dries of this wall or this earth or this building, mutanajjis, it dries because of what? Because of the sun and the wind. We need it mostly by what? Mostly by the sun. Only the sun should make the mutanajjis thing dry. So if a mutanajjis thing is jointly dried by the wind and the sun, it will not become tahir. It will not become tahir. However, it would not matter if the wind blows lightly. However, it would not matter if the wind blows lightly. And it may not be said that it has any share in making the mutanajjis thing dry. That means, yeah, there is a wind and there is a sun. But this earth, this wall, this building, I mean mutanajjis earth, mutanajjis wall, mutanajjis building, becomes dry because of what? Because of the sun and wind. The wind, it does not that much effect, but the major effect, the major cause of being dry is because of the sun. That's okay. Have you got it? Last condition, number 5. The sun should dry up the whole mutanajjis part of the building. The sun should dry up the whole mutanajjis part of the building. All at once. All at once. For example, if this pool is mutanajjis, okay, and the sun shines on it, definitely it has the surface and it has the interior parts of it, which all of them they became mutanajjis. In this case, I need this sun to make it all of it, what? To make it all of it tahir at once. All of it tahir at once. If part of it becomes, all of it dry at once. If part of it becomes dry and the other part is still what? Is still not dry, so only the dry one becomes what? Tahir. The rest is what? Still mutanajjis. If the sun dries the surface of the mutanajjis earth or building first and later on it dries the inner part, only the surface will become tahir. Only the surface will become tahir. Why? Because the surface of this pool becomes dry because of what? Because of the sun. While the inner part, the interior parts becomes dry because of what? Not because of the sun, but because of the heat of the surface. And we said we need that these things should become dry because of what? Of the sun immediately, directly. Yeah, this is understood, inshallah. Is it clear, Sheikhana? Good. Issue number 193. A mutanajjis mat, الحصيرة المتنجسة, will be made tahir by the sun. Will be made tahir by the sun. If it is completely made of what? Of what we call it? Pasab? Breeds. Yeah, okay. A mutanajjis mat will be made tahir by the sun. But if it is woven with threads, إذا هي محيوكة بمن بالخيوط, يعني مثبتيها بالخيوط, then the threads becoming tahir is a matter of ishkal. Why? Because we explained that such things should be made tahir by what? By water, by washing them, not by the sun. The sun is specified by mutanajjis earth, by mutanajjis walls, by mutanajjis buildings, but not mutanajjis what? Threads. Similarly, the sun does not, in all probabilities, make tahir the trees. Also the trees, if they become mutanajjis, the sun will never make them what? Will never make them tahir. The grass, the doors and the windows, all of them we cannot make them tahir by the sun. So put it in your mind. The sun only makes earth, mutanajjis earth tahir, mutanajjis walls tahir, mutanajjis windows, mutanajjis what else? Buildings, and mutanajjis mat. Of reeds. Yeah, even if it is made of reeds and what? It woven with threads. The reeds becomes tahir by the sun, but the threads needs to be washed by water. Issue number 194. If the sun shines on متنجس earth, and one doubts later whether the earth was wet or not at that time. So this earth was mutanajjis, and the sun shines on it, and I see the earth was what? The earth now is what? Is dry. Now I was suspected, I doubt whether the earth was wet or not when the sun shines on it. And one doubts later whether the earth was wet or not at that time, or whether the wetness dried up because of the sunshine or not. Maybe the wetness of this mutanajjis earth becomes dry by what? Maybe becomes dry not by the sun, by the wind. I doubt this. The earth will remain mutanajjis. Yes, the earth will remain mutanajjis. So what should I do now? I should pour water on it in order to make it dry, and let the sun shines on it, and it becomes dry by what? By the sun only. Similarly, the same hukum, if one doubts whether najis al-ayn had been removed from the earth before the sun shines, or whether there was any impediment, whether the essential najasa has been removed, so I have to do what? I have to remove the essential najasa and to make the earth wet, and in order to make it dry by the sun. Or whether there was any impediment preventing direct sunshine, or sometimes I was doubt that this mutanajjis earth, it becomes what? It becomes dry not by the sun directly. It becomes dries maybe by the wind. What should I do? I have to pour water on it and to let the sun shine on it, and it becomes what? Becomes dry because of the sun. The earth will remain mutanajjis. Issue number 195. If the sun shines on one side of a mutanajjis wall, if the sun shines on one side of a mutanajjis wall, and as a consequence of it, the other side of the wall also dries up. The other side of the wall dries up, not because of the sun, but because of the dries of this surface or this side, then both sides will be considered tahir. Then both sides will become what? Will become tahir. Imagine this is a wall, okay? This is a wall, and it is mutanajjis. Now the sun shines on this side. The sun shines on this side. Immediately it becomes what? It becomes, it dries, and as a consequence, the other side becomes dries because of it. The same thing at the same time. So both the sides are what? Both the sides are tahir. Both the sides are becoming tahir. Now we have another topic that is of mutahhirat, transformation, istihala. What do we mean by istihala? If a mutanajjis thing undergoes such a change that it assumes the category of a tahir thing, it becomes tahir. This mutanajjis thing has changes and has what? The categories of a tahir thing. Now it becomes tahir. Like what? For example, alaykum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. For example, if a mutanajjis wood, قطعة خشب متنجسة, burns and is reduced to ashes. Burns and it reduces to what? To ashes. Or a dog falls in a salt marsh. A dog where it falls in a salt marsh and it becomes what? And it transforms into salt. This dog becomes what? Becomes a salt. It becomes tahir. It becomes tahir. But a thing does not become tahir if its sense or category does not change. If the thing which is become mutanajjis and it is changed and its category is what? As the original one, it will not become tahir. Like what? Like if mutanajjis wheat, or ground into flour, if mutanajjis wheat is ground into flour، إذا الحنطة انطحنت وصارت طحين، متنجس حنطة، we ground it into what? Into flour. It becomes what? It becomes mutanajjis still. Or is used for baking bread, or we use this flour for what? For baking. This mutanajjis wheat becomes a flour and we use it for what? To make bread. It does not become tahir. It does not become tahir. Is this understood? Any question? Issue number 197. Any earthenware, any earthenware which is made of mutanajjis clay, any earthenware which is made of mutanajjis clay is mutanajjis. Do you know how to make it tahir? Yes. Could you tell me? We have two pictures. Is the earthen? Yes, Sheikhana.
Pouring water and make it to the
The same as Sheikh Ahmed, what he is saying. But I'm saying we have two pictures. Picture number one, if this clay is what?
Is it dry? We pour water on it and make sure that the water
Penetrated.
into all its parts.
Okay, or we immerse it in a core or running water till the time that the water penetrated in all its fracture. Yes. Or the other way, if it is still wet, definitely if it is still wet, we cannot power water, we cannot immerse it in a core water because it is wet and it will never let the new water to go to its parts. So we make it dry and then we use this way. Any earthenware which is made of mutanajjis clay is mutanajjis, but coal derived from mutanajjis wood, al-faham, coal which derived from mutanajjis wood will be tahir. Why? Because, yes, Sheikh.
But the heat, the fire.
No. Put in your mind, heat, fire will never make mutanajjis thing tahir. Never, ever. But because of what? Somebody said. Yeah, because of the change. Yes, because of the change. And the same thing wouldn't be just like before. Before it was what? It was wood. Now it is what? It is coal.
Even the leaves that was found that were found in the wood, it has been changed to totally.
If they were mutanajjis, now when they change into what? Into coal, they are tahir.
There is a point that the thing that is bent in the wood is the chlorophyll. So the wetness.
Yes, but while this thing is what? The CO, not the chlorophyll. Yeah, but coal derived from mutanajjis wood will be tahir if it has no semblance of its origin. Last issue, issue number 198. A mutanajjis thing about which it is not known whether it has undergone any transformation, istihala, or not, remains mutanajjis. If a thing I don't know whether it transforms or not, so I will consider it as what? I will consider it as still mutanajjis. أعمل بقاعدة الاستصحاب. Issue number change, انقلاب. We will discuss it next lesson inshallah. والحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم والعن عدوهم.